So we've got Pilates, basic Pilates again today. So let's lie down, and the first thing we're going to do is we are going to stretch, which is a bit like when we did our wake up to yoga. So hands above your head, take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, just reach and stretch. Try and get all the crooks and crannies and get everything lengthened. And then bring your hands down to your side. So now we're going to do it with a breath. We're going to inhale, exhale, reach, inhale, come back, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, just bringing your hands down. I've got my eyes closed, it's lovely. And exhale. Now while you're doing this, bring in your lateral breath. Just bring in, deep breath in, pulling through the pelvic floor, pulling through the belly button on your exhale as well, and just try and engage through. Now you're going to start feeling, as you're doing the movement, there's obviously more strength through the core because it's all engaged, and you'll feel it pulling in different ways. So when we first started doing this, we were quite relaxed through there. Now we're engaged through, pulling through the belly button. And what you'll do is you'll feel it further down in the transverse abdominis when you're actually doing your arms overhead. So in the deep seating muscles at either side of your hip bones, you'll feel that pulling more. Now just do one more just to show you the difference when you relax. Now relax, don't engage, just breathe in and breathe out. You feel the difference, yeah? So bring the knees up. So now what we're going to do is we're still basically going to do upper body. So we're going to shrug the shoulders up and down, lifting them up and down. And what's really nice about this is you feel very relaxed because you're not standing. You haven't got to concentrate on making sure you're keeping your balance or anything. So this is a lovely one to come back to. Shrug your shoulders. Now go into Pilates. So breathe in, lift up, breathe out, go down, breathe in and out, breathe in. So remember, as we're breathing in that big breath, we're pulling in through our belly button, we're pulling in through our pelvic floor, breathe out. So we have a more solid torso. So now what you're finding is as you're breathing in, lifting your shoulders up, you'll be pulling away and you can feel it pulling and stretching and down. Just do a few more. Remember, it's just a pinching an inch through the belly button, pinching an inch through the pelvic floor. Excellent. One more. Fantastic. So the next movement, we're going to bring our hands to here and we're just going to take them out and in. Again, we're just breathing normally. And in. It doesn't matter, you can breathe in and out, or however, just let it flow, let it flow. This is when you'll find you're going, oh my goodness, there's too small the space. Brilliant. So if you've got too small a space, just bring your elbows down either side of your mat like so. Now, let's do it with a breath. So we're still nice and relaxed through the torso. We're going to pull in through the belly button, pull in through the pelvic floor, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. So while you're doing that, as you breathe in and taking your hands down, your chest lifts. You get an amazing stretch as well through the torso, the top of the torso. As you're bringing them down, you're drawing your shoulder blades together. As you're coming up, you're drawing them in. That's it, apart. Let's do a few more. When you're doing this under Pilates breath, it feels completely different, doesn't it, from when you're doing it when you're relaxed? And that's why I wanted to do it with both. Okay, now we finish that. Now we're going to tilt the pelvis up and tilt it down. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about, imagine you have a marble and it's between your pubic bone and your belly button. I want you to roll the marble into your belly button. Then I want you to roll it back into your pubic bone. Just nice and relaxed, just tilting backwards and forwards. Let that marble just roll. That's it. So depending what type of back you have and the way that you are built, some of you find it easier to roll the marble in than to take it to there, and some of you will find it easy because you've got a very flexible lower back to do this one and not so much that one. Now let's do it with the breath. So we're going to roll the marble into the belly button, breathe in. Breathe out and roll the marble to the pubic bone. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Pull in through the belly, or if you want to pull in through the pelvic floor, pull in through the belly button. Breathe out. So from being quite a fluid movement, when we were doing just tilting it backwards and forwards, it becomes a very controlled movement because you have that engagement through your pelvic floor as well. And again. Well done. Excellent. So now I want you to bring your knees into your chest and just massage through your lower back, because you'll have felt that, and it gets everything moving beautifully along there. Fantastic. So with that in mind, we're going to have our heels, and we're going to try and bring our heels towards our butt, making sure that we are hip width apart, so that we're not got our legs out too wide and we haven't got our knees together. We do stuff like that, but we're not doing that today. So they're in line in your body. And we're going to do the classic lifting the tailbone up. And we're not doing it with Pilates breath. We're just going up and down. We're just getting all of the posterior chain to start activating, working together. So we're just mobilizing through at this point. So it doesn't matter how fast or how slow you do it. I want you to just try and just get everything warmed up. Now what we do with our neck is we bring our chin onto our chest, which lengthens through the back of your head, and it keeps your neck nice and safe. Tilt, lift up, and back. Perfect. So now we're going to do an inhale, pull through the pelvic floor, and as we inhale and pull through the pelvic floor, we're going to lift the vertebrae up, but we're going to be conscious of the visual of imagining that we've got a bicycle chain and we're lifting each chain off the floor as we're coming up. We breathe in and we go up as high as we can, and then we breathe out and we come back down. The slower the breath is, the slower the movement is. So if I was breathing in really slowly, focusing, breathe in, breathe out. So you carry on doing that. So you've got to think about that your breath in is the same amount of time as the breath out. So if you want to breathe in and count, make sure if you do 8 counts on the way up, you do 8 counts on the way down. Bearing in mind that while you're going up, you're pulling in through the pelvic floor, you're tucking your belly button in a little bit, you're maintaining that engagement, and then you're slowly coming back down. So let's do a few more. Don't worry if you're not doing it at my pace, you do it at your pace. That's it. I'm getting a sunset suntan here. And back down. Excellent. So we're slowly, hopefully, activating all the nerves through the body, lifting it up. And then bringing it down. Well done. Bring your knees into your chest. Fantastic. So you can see how we're working today. So now our next movement is we're going to go like into a tabletop, into this movement here. We're going to lower the heel down and then lift up. Do the same on the other. But first of all, we've got to make sure we're in the right position. So we tilt the pelvis so the back feels like it's engaged through the floor. So you can feel grounded from basically the bottom to your shoulders, and you just drop one leg down without tilting on the other side, and do the same on the other side. Don't even think about it, don't worry about the breath. Get it going, get it working. Make sure your back stays flat, yeah, so you can feel a little bit going on there, but we're going to do it with the lateral breath in a minute. That's it. Working through hips and through abdominals. So just bring the knees in. So obviously we're going to do that movement now with the lateral breath. So remember, we're looking at focus, control, flow, centering, yeah, and our breath. Think the visual really is your leg with that. So we inhale and go down, inhale, pull in through the pelvic floor, exhale, excuse me, and come up. Inhale, go down, exhale, come up. Inhale, go down. And all the time you maintain that there, doesn't move. You keep your back flat on the floor. You're pulling in through your pelvic floor and you're pulling in through your belly button, but only pinching an inch, not really, really tight. Otherwise you can't do a lateral breath. Do a few more. So you can feel those quads are working. You can feel that your abdominals are working as well. Let's take it down. That's it. Do a couple more. That's it. Bring your knees in. Perfect. Excellent. So we're going to lie down on our sides. Now, when you're in this position here, we're again going to not think about the movement. We're just going to lift our legs up and down. So at this point in time, we're getting the brain ready to understand this is the movement we want to do. So that takes one of the jobs that it has to think about. So when you're doing your lateral breath, you're not having to think about this actual movement. You can really focus on the other movements, the other things you've got to do. So let's rest down. So what are the other things you've got to do? You've got to imagine that between your hip and your ribs, you've lifted up a little bit. So you've got a bit of a gap in between your hips here. So that's got to stay like that. You can use a pillow or you can use, something to rest your upper body here because you're not really working this bit. We're working a lot through the side of the legs. So you've got this little gap here, so imagine it's almost like somebody's done that to you. You're going to inhale, pulling in through the pelvic floor, and then exhale, lift. Inhale, down. That's one. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. So we're imaginary, we've got a little bit of a lift there. Exhale, down. That's it. Inhale. Exhale. 4, I think. 5, 6, 7, one more, and 8. Perfect. Bend the back leg back, the bottom leg back, sorry. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring this leg to here and take it back. So now we're working through hamstrings and obviously this side of the leg, the outside of the leg, the adductors. See if you can do it. Don't think about the breath at the moment. Just go forwards and backwards. Just get your body used to it. Take away one of them. One of the bits you've got to work out with. That's it. Then just have a little rest. Just bring it forwards. Just rest it down. And then we're going to do it with the breath. So with this one, we're going to inhale here, lift up through here, exhale, inhale, hold, exhale back. We're keeping everything stable, we're not moving anything at all. We're trying to just isolate through here. So if you need to have your hand in front to balance you and keep you straight. Inhale and exhale. Pull in through the pelvic floor, through the belly button. Hold it. Inhale and exhale. Yeah, now you can feel that through the hip as well, can't you? Let's do it again. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. What do you reckon? One more? Inhale and exhale. I'm closing my eyes a lot. The sun is gorgeous, but it's a bit shiny in my eyes. And then inhale and then exhale back. Perfect. Okay, so now you're going to roll over to the other side. So I'm going to change my position on the mat, which might take me out of my sunshine. Thank you guys. So the first movement is just like a warming up movement. So we're just going to lift the legs up, both the legs up and down. That's it, up and down. So it's just a question of getting it ready. What I want you to do is when you are doing this movement, I want you to imagine that your front and your back of your body is between two sheets of glass. So that's your visual for this one. Two sheets of glass. So you're just literally lifting up. And both legs are, if you can, get them tied together. They're tied together. So yeah, just do a few more, then you'll be like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing. So what we're going to do now is we've got between our hip and our ribs, we're going to imagine that somebody's lifted it. So you can see how I've almost gone up a little bit as well, yeah, there. Hand in front. Inhale, lift. And exhale down. One, yeah, inhale. And exhale. I do know that it does hurt some people's hips. They're lying on their hips, doesn't it, when you're lifting? So make sure you're not too far this way, that you're forwards a little bit, so you're stacked over your hips. And it just takes it off where the hip bone is, and you can really concentrate on it. So remember, don't push down with this. Keep that arched up a little bit there. It's only a feeling rather than actually you can see an arch up. And down, and again, and again, one more, and bring it down. Well done. So bend the bottom leg, and then all you're going to do is take this forwards and backwards, which is it's a lot easier doing it like this. It's when you start getting engaged and getting through into your Pilates that you really feel it. So this is what we do in body tone. We do high reps, going at quite a fast pace, you know, or probably LTB or something like that, legs, tums and bums. A few more. So obviously what you need to do when you've done that is you just need to rest it down, give it a bit of a rub, get yourself set up. So your leg is nice and straight. You inhale, exhale. So it's parallel to the floor. Inhale and exhale back. So we're going to do four or five of these. Inhale, exhale. So I'm keeping this bit completely still. Exhale, yeah, and you come back. But because it's loaded, the lever is long, you really do feel it through your hip joint as well. So you carry on doing it, holding it, and bringing it back. Excellent. Doing it again. Got very sleepy dogs today. And bringing it back. Well done. Bringing it down. Excellent. So lie yourselves back on your back again. And bring your knees into your chest. Fantastic. So now we're going to bring ourselves up and we're going to cross our legs. So we're going to start coming into our stretches. What we need to do is we're just going to come into the normal, I could call the hedgehog. Cross your legs. So those last two ones, you'd have felt it a little bit through your hip as well. So just come forwards. That's it. Relax your shoulders. And just come forwards. And then try and just come into a massive ball. Obviously didn't put my phone on silent today, did I? So you can feel it stretching through the shoulders and also all down your spine. Then cross your legs the other way. So obviously this is the way we were never meant to be, with our legs crossed, was it? Same thing. Now this one I find really awkward to do. See if you can get yourself into a nice tight ball again. And just feel a stretching. Just breathe normally. You don't have to think about Pilates breath. Breathe nice and normally. Relax your shoulders. Breathing in and out. And then come, bring your feet together. Now grab, often you see people holding this position. Bring your head down towards your knees. Bring your knees in a little bit if you want. By pulling them in, you're going to feel your shoulders stretching as well. Just go into a tight ball and you'll feel underneath the shoulder blades stretching. Just try and relax into it. That's it. Then straighten your legs and come forward. So you're doing hamstrings then. So still feeling like you felt that rounded. So today is about rounded. It's not so much about hinging. But what you've got to make sure is when you're coming forwards, you don't feel it in your lower back. So just make sure you lift your shoulders up at the back and round. So you can feel it more over the top half of your back rather than the bottom half of your back. If you have issues, or the pregnancy option, for example, is you just open your legs a little bit more. That's it, then we sit ourselves up. We're then going to come to a side bend, because we've been doing stuff on the side. With our legs out straight in front, we just come over and we look up under our armpit. So we're nice and straight, we're not in an awkward position with our legs. We have a nice stretch. And we do the same on the other side, so we're not holding them for too long, we're just trying to stretch everything out. And then we take our legs out wide, same thing now, we're just going to come forwards, and what I want you to do is I want you to round your shoulders, almost like you're bringing your shoulder blades together, so like bringing your elbows together and come down, and it will take it away from when you're trying to come forwards through your lower back. So, again. Just breathe nice and slowly, just feel relaxed. And then we come up, and then we're going to come over, so we're doing this movement again, and you might find you can get a little bit further down, because our legs are a little bit wider, but don't allow any of the seats of your bottom to bend, to come off the floor. We're just bending through the torso there. Do the same on the other side. That's it. So you can start feeling that you're really stretching out through your back. Perfect. Then bring your legs together. Then we take one leg over and we pull it in as tight as we can. We do our rotation. So we lift up and we rotate. So you're pulling the knee towards your chest and bringing that shoulder towards the knee. Doing a rotation, hand behind your back. So when we were doing those side lifts and you could feel it here, we're giving it a bit of a stretch, which is nice. There you go, sweetie. And then from this position here, we come over. So again, it's like a bit, it feels quite awkward, this one. Come over, do the other way. That's it. So again, we're getting good stretches between the hip and the ribs where we've been working. When we're doing all our side bends. So the same thing on the other side. So we pull this leg in. That's it. Lift up. Bring this shoulder to that knee by pulling it towards you. And you can already feel that through your shoulder blades. Rotate and lift up. Then place your hand at the side. Let's do another side. Try not to lean back too far. Come forwards a little bit. That's it. Do the same again. And then we're going to bring the feet together. So inner thigh stretch, a slightly better one than the first one gets us going. This one, grab hold of your toes, allow gravity to let your knees come down to the side and just pull yourself in. Again, I want you to round your shoulders, so bring your shoulder almost like this sort of movement, and then it takes away from your lower back a bit more, but you can really feel it stretching through your ribs. Get cramp. Then bring it up, hand over again. So now you're feeling a bit of an inner thigh one when you're coming over as well. Such sexy moves, aren't they? And do the same on the other side. And bring it back. So we're going to bend the one leg in. We're going to lift this leg up if we can. You can hold on to it here, or you can do like I just held on to it there. If you do struggle a little bit, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you're not falling backwards. So we're going to come here with the leg and we're going to pull it up into a hamstring. Stretch. Doesn't matter if you're here, it's wherever you can get it. Take hold of the leg and pull it across your body to here. Can you feel that now? Some people may need to be down there. Just pull it across. So you're literally forcing it across your body, and you'll find there or there. So some of you, if you've got a bit bendy, just be careful of your knee and just pull it across like that. I'm very lucky must have short legs. That's it, and you can feel that pull through there. And then we bring it down. Well done, so it wasn't too long, was it? Same on the other side. Lift it up, hold on to it, or hold it like there. So we're trying to push this butt down at this point and lift the leg up so it's over our ears. You know, the one we imagine when we were little. Oh yeah, I can do that. And just hold it. So you're still stretching through the shoulder as well. And then take it across your body. So again, don't lean back, try and come forwards on it as much as you can. The more you take it across, the more you can feel it here. It's quite heavy. You feel very stiff, it's quite heavy. Don't worry, you can use your hand to hold and support yourself. And you're doing that movement, bringing it across your leg and trying to stretch this bit here. It's amazing how when they're very, if you've got issues with tight hamstrings, feels really difficult because it feels like your leg weighs a ton. And then bring it down, shake it out. Excellent, so just cross your legs, that's it. We're just going to finish with our rotation. So yeah, nice basic class, but we've done some really good movements. We've really worked and isolated through our posterior spine, worked through abdominal work, and yeah, sort of like an all over body workout with some stretches in between. We're at the end. So yeah, so that's a good one to come back to because you can see what you're doing with that one. And it's sometimes when we've been very busy, it's quite nice to do a quieter, more basic workout. Excellent job, guys. Well, that was 30 minutes like that. It's finished. It's gone. Well done. For you, those of you that have just done the class, boot camp, that would have been a good one for you, just to get you all nicely calmed up and everything.